Hey, Rodolfo, go fuck yourself. I ain't coming. I don't work for nobody no more. I think I'm gonna stay here, build my own shit. I'm my own boss now.
YouTube, this franchise, let's get this work. Power Book 4 Force, let's get started. Starts off with Tommy detouring to visit family on the way to meet up with the Connect in California. During the process, he encounters a crime syndicate family, the Flynns, which later on he'll be introduced to the first family member, which will be Vic, which will be the brother, and as well as also the bartender, which is Gloria. Now, meanwhile, while that is developing, there's a new character named Diamond, as he was a barber, but he's in prison for affiliated crime stuff, and we don't have a full backstory just yet. But we see him leaving prison, and of course he's picked up by his brother Gennard, which is still kind of holding down the fort as far as the gang. Now, in this same situation, he wants to change his life. Of course, his alias is Diamond, but unfortunately, his name brings attention because of who he was, from what he states. Now, back to the crime syndicate family. There's 3 separate fractions in the family. So you got the father is Walter, or Water. It's stated Water, but I believe it's Walter. He basically runs the city. His son is Vic, who wants to run his own territory without his father being involved. And then, of course, his counterpart would be his sister, which is Claudine. And in her situation, we don't have too much of a story on her just yet, but we know she seems like she's the brains, and yet the father doesn't want her to be involved. Now, going back to the bartender, picks up a moment during the episode where she's basically flirting with Tommy, and one thing led to another, and then as you see during the process, she ends up sleeping with Tommy. So it's just like imperative, like chemistry right then and there. And interesting enough, they later discover both of them have lost people in their past life. Now, bring it back up to Tommy and the crime family. He ends up having some spat with the family in the beginning, which later he takes out the muscle, and he ends up going in on Vic's little deal, where he actually ends up saving Vic and Gennard's life, because he was the one that was strapped while Gennard had a gun jammed, and Vic ended up coming with short change of the money. And anytime you got a dealing going on and somebody comes up short, yeah, that's not a perfect plan. But anyway, that leads into how he's introducing somewhat to the family. Interesting enough, during that part, Tommy ends up not only taking the product, but also taking the money. Well, sure enough, Walter, or Water, basically wasn't having that. And so he made sure that he was going to definitely get in touch with Tommy. And of course, on the highway, as he's driving, four SUVs pulled right around to force him to follow him after they stopped him, because he already messed up with the henchmen, let alone, of course, took the son's money as well. Well, going to the end of it, of course, Tommy gives him the money as, hey, I saved your son's life, count as blessing. Walter looks at it like, hey, look, I'll clean up your messes based under the fact of what occurred. So that way there's no issues. And of course, Walter in the back, or Walter thinking in the back of his mind, well, hey, don't come back here. And of course, Tommy looks at it like, okay, fine. So at the end, closer to the end, Tommy just realizes after the Connect calls him, and he's, you know what? I'm gonna stay. I'm my own man, and that's episode 1. Now, again, I know I said some of the names, and of course, keep this in mind. This is the first episode, so you gotta understand. You gotta really delve into the characters before you start to formulate opinions about certain characters. And again, we'll find out more soon. Now, again, just want to thank you for coming to watch this video. Again, my name is Fran Chize. Comment, subscribe, like the channel. Thank you once again. And again, let's get this work. Y'all take care. Bye. Also forgot to mention, Tommy had a key element that also did happen in the episode, which was he found out his long lost brother. Of course, the mom had other family, and of course, when he was visiting his grandma, the brother had came out, and of course didn't know for sure who was who until they kind of showed what were the reasons why they were brothers. But sure enough, the character's name is J.P. Gibbs, so be on the lookout for that as well.